Welcome to the Mother Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today.
Hey mothers and daughters, here I am with a little bit of a story time and a little bit of a message for you for 2024. Yep, you see the big no there. So I am just wanting to share something that, again, a lot of my shows come from conversations I'm having with people, things that happen throughout the day. And I just want to share with you something that I feel like would be useful, helpful, and informational for you and the people that you associate with. So I got a phone call this morning, and it was me returning a message to them that sparked off this conversation, and the person called me on the phone, and I have no idea who she is. I've never met her, because even if I don't remember your face, I'm going to remember when you say your name or your company or whatever. So anyway, I returned the phone call because she left me a message on yesterday, and when I returned the phone call, I said to her, first she said, well, who is this and what company is this? I said, well, calm down. My name is, gave her my name, and I said, I'm returning your phone call, and I just wanted to know what it was all about, and just returning your phone call. And she was like, okay, she calmed down a little bit, and she was like, well, my name is, I think she said Laura or something, and I have Mary Kay, and I just wanted to help you with your new year look for the new year, new you. And we have some new palettes and this, that, and the other thing. And I just let her go on and on. Normally, I'm going to cut you off, and because my time is so valuable, like yours is. Like, let's not play around when our time is so valuable. I like being on boats and looking at water. I like being at the beach and putting my feet in the sand. I like being in the world, okay? And so I was trying to figure out who she was, and I realized at that point I didn't know her. And the funny thing is when people make phone calls to you, they don't realize what you've already been going through. Like yesterday, I got a phone call twice from State Farm saying, hey, we got your phone number, and you had inquired with... I've never made an inquiry with State Farm Insurance. Never, ever has that ever happened, okay? So I told her, I said, when did I make the inquiry? She says, well, she didn't know. So I said, no, I have insurance, so that's how I know I never have made an inquiry. My cars are covered and everything, so I know for a fact that I've never called you guys to make an inquiry. So she waits an hour, and you could tell she's just going down a list of people. Like, she probably pulled phone numbers from, come to find out, she pulled my card from a bucket I put it in, probably for some kind of door prize or something, from 2 years ago. At the Women's Expo that I went to in Dallas, Texas. Had to be at least a year or two ago. So I said, no, ma'am. We got off the phone again. She called back, and she said, oh, in case you were wondering where we got it from, because the same girl called me. And when I said, you just called me an hour ago, and no, I never made an inquiry with you guys. She goes, oh, now I know the question. The answer to the question, we got your number from an expo, the Dallas Women's Expo. I said, a year plus ago? And she goes, yeah. And I thought to myself, why would you wait a year to follow up with anyone? If I meet you on Saturday or Sunday, by Monday and Tuesday, you should have my answer, yes or no. So that was weird. So by the time the girl calls me last night, leaves the message, and I return her call today, I was already fed up. And when I say fed up, I don't mean in a bad way. I just mean I'm not going to play around. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to play with you. We're just not going to go there. I'm just going to let you know the answer is no, and that's it. But I'm going to say it very nice. So let me tell you how I resolved it today. I let her do her spiel, even though it got on my nerves really quickly, because time is so valuable to me. Hers and mine. Not just me, but hers as well. So she does her whole little spiel, and I let her do it. And then she starts telling me what day she has appointments that she could slide me in for next week and what time and all this without my permission or my interest. And so I said to her, I'm really happy that you found something that really makes you happy and that serves you as a business owner. And I do have several friends that are in Mary Kay and have been in Mary Kay for over 20-something years. So out of loyalty to them, if I were going to do anything with Mary Kay, of course, I would go with the people that I'm already associated with. I don't know you. I have not met you somewhere. Maybe you met me at an expo and I put my card in a bucket or something like that. Because I remember the day before, I'm just finding that out about State Farm. So that's what happened. So she was like, oh, okay then. And I said, you have a great day and I wish you all the best for 2024. So in that sentence, what I really was saying was, I don't know you. I'm not interested in Mary Kay at this time. You don't have to worry about calling me because I've already wished you well for 2024. I said that in the nicest way I could. But if you are not like me and have not mastered the art of saying no like I did a decade ago, then I'm going to show you some ways that you can say no. You can just simply say no thanks. Because you're saying, no, I'm not interested, and you're saying, thank you for presenting it to me. I've made a decision, no. You can say, thanks for thinking of me, but I cannot at this time because I'm already extended. That is literally my favorite one. I'm very extended at this time right now. If I am interested, I will come back to you and show my interest. But my number one favorite way to say no is that doesn't fit into what I'm doing right now. And I leave it there. Another way you can say is, I'm glad that you found something that brings you joy, and I'm glad that that's what is working for you right now. But for me right now, I'm working on XYZ. That way you let them know and acknowledge that you're happy for them, but then you also throw in what you're doing. So in case if they want to use your services, that might be something that they needed, and that could be the whole reason that the phone call happened, because everything happens for a reason. You could also say, I really appreciate you asking me, but at this moment, I'm not making any new commitments. I mean, that right there is so nice. I say, just like when you sign your salutation and your signature, and you have a signature way you do everything, I say pick a signature way to say no. My favorite is, I'm so happy that you found something that makes you really, really happy and it serves you. And I wish you the best with everything that you're doing. But right now, I'm really, really involved and overextended with what I'm doing to grow my own business. You could also say, unfortunately, this is not something I'm interested in doing at this time. Another way to just say no is, I'm not available at the moment, but I may be next time. And if that happens, I will reach out to you. There's no need for you to reach back out to me. Because what most people will do is before they hang up that call, they'll try to figure out when they can call you again. If you don't want to hurt their feelings, then you can just say that in the nice way I just told you. Or you can just simply say, if I'm interested, I will reach out to you. Another way you can say it is, unfortunately, it's not a good time for me right now. I will reach out to you when my schedule frees up. I hear a lot of people when they say no, they put the I'm sorry in front of it. Well, see, I don't like lying to people. So I'm never going to say I'm sorry about something I'm not sorry about. If I'm sorry, I'm going to say I'm sorry. But if I'm not sorry about it, I'm not going to just haphazardly use that word to tell you no. You know, it's almost like I'm apologizing for not being interested in what you have to submit to me. And we should never be sorry for something that we're not interested in. We're just not interested in it. Just like my post up here says, you're magic. And don't apologize for it. And magic just means that you are who you are in the way that you are, and do not apologize for being that person to anyone. Don't bow down and lessen yourself to make other people feel more valuable. You could also say, I'm honored that you asked me. Right now is not a good time, and I'll reach back out to you. What is your phone number? I'll reach back out to you if I'm interested in that. And the other way, and my final way that you can tell somebody no, or you can say no, is that sounds nice, but my schedule does not permit for me to get involved in it. For example, with the lady with the Mary Kay, I know, for example, I've not been interested in Mary Kay in a long time. And even when I was younger, I was more interested in Avon. I'm not a makeup wearer on a daily basis. I'm not a product, wear on a daily basis like that. I make all my own natural stuff. I make my own deodorant. I'm making my own toothpaste. I have my own lotions and potions and all these other things that I put on my body that are all natural to keep the toxins out. So I'm not somebody who would be involved with anything that has to do with Mary Kay. I know it's a successful company. I know that Mary Kay, who started the company, did a really, really wonderful thing. I know that her family lineage is taking over and running it, and their headquarters is in Texas, Dallas to be specific. And all of that is exciting and wonderful. But the one thing that taught me and made me turned off about Mary Kay was back in the day, the way they used to recruit. I remember when I was in my 20s, I had a really cool lady that I used to network with and things like that. And she said, "Girl, would you like to come to a ladies' breakfast?" And I said, "Okay, cool." She said, "It's going to be networking. It's going to be this. It's going to be that." And I was like, "Okay, I'm thinking nothing wrong with networking. That sounds wonderful. I would love to meet some new other ladies that are in business and things like that." So I get to the breakfast, having a good time talking to people. I'm so green that I didn't notice that it was a recruiting breakfast. We go through the whole thing. Nobody mentions anything to me. Nobody says anything. They were just, overly nice and all of that great stuff. And then at the end, they popped it on you at your table. They break out these forms and say, "Okay, now it's time for you to get started with Mary Kay. Go ahead and sign up today. Your sign up fee is blah, 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 blah. If you bring this many people in, you can do, you can get the car, you can get the shirt, you can get the jewelry, you can get the blah, 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 blah. But you got to recruit this many people." I've never done an MLM business ever. I've never done one. I don't care how much good education they have under it, and most of them have really great education under them. No matter how many great people tell me they're making $250 billion, I've never done MLM because I've always seen it as to be nefarious. Now, MLM to me is when it's required that you have to bring people in order for your income to be sustained. Now, if you recruit people into a particular organization because you see the greater good for them, and it's going to be about it be serving them, and it's going to be about them elevating, that's a different story. But if their income is going to be contingent on them selling their friends, I'm not interested because my friends are not for sale. For example, I have a travel group that I'm an ambassador for. And as an ambassador member, we have a thing that we suggest and would like for you to bring in one person. But the reason we want you to bring in one person is because when we travel, you'll have somewhere that someone there that you trust, and you love, and that you like to travel with because that's your blood, that's your friend, that's your buddy, that's somebody that you wouldn't mind sharing a room with, instead of you always sharing a room with a new person. Because there are people, yes, I like to share rooms with different people because I like to network and I like to talk and get to know people. But there are literally people who have health issues and they don't want that revealed to strangers. There are people who have stomach issues. There are people who have sleeping issues. There's people who snore and smoke and drink and do things that they don't want other people to know. But if they're in the room with somebody who already knows all their vices, then they can just feel more comfortable. So it's not mandatory for them to bring somebody in. It's a suggestion so that you can feel more comfortable as you travel with us. But with MLM, if you don't have what they call a downline, you will not make more money off of them. That to me is selling your friends down the river. And I feel like anybody who's ever done MLM has sold their friends down the river, or just wasn't successful at it anyway because the model really sucks. I'm going to leave this with you for 2024. Anything that doesn't serve you, say no. Anything you're not interested in, say no. Say it immediately. Say it without hesitation. Say it as sweet as you can out of your mouth so that you feel good about it and you feel respected about it. And so that if they then pursue you, you can then get very, very matter of fact. That's my show today on how to say no. And even though my car has yes all over it, I do know how to say no. That's my show for today. Talk to you later. Till next time. Bye. Bye-bye.